Hi Pocket Pals. Welcome to my channel. I'm Elmo. I've restarted my reading journey recently and I'd like to document some of it because why not? Basically, the only reading I've really done in the past 8 years has been academic. So reading for pleasure is like a thing I'm rediscovering. And I want to document how that rediscovery is going. So yeah, this is books I've read in 2023. That's what it is. That's what this video is. I don't read very quickly, nor often. So this is gonna be interesting. But I read 5 books this year. I thought I'd only finish like 2. I start a lot of books and then never finish them. Some of them I get like a significant way into. 2 of the books I finished this year I started years ago and have only managed to finish this year. But also the fact I read 5 books is like pretty insane. So the first book I read was this beauty. This is Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency by Douglas Adams. I love this book so dang much. The blurb, hot damn. So many questions from the start. I'm like, what is an electric monk and why can he only see pink? Like, straight up, what is happening? Love this book, and I've fallen in love with Douglas Adams because of it. This book reads how I think, which I've never experienced in a book before, and I really liked that. It was nice. It was really nice. There are 2 books that I gave 5 stars to this year. This is one of them, and you'll never guess what the other one is. It's also by Douglas Adams, because I'm a nerd, I guess. I love this book. It was really fun. The sofa? Like, insane. It's just so funny, and it's like a punch to the face with every new development, but like in a good way, like you want to get punched. It kept me engaged. Like there was enough going on that I had questions I needed answers to. I read this in like a month. Not a thing that happens in my life. Dirk Gently. Absurd. Amazing. Please read it. It's so good. It's so good. Love it. Book number 2. This book I had to read for uni, but I enjoyed it enough for it to not feel like work, and I didn't finish it when I had to write about it, and I still did well, so I think that was a selling point, really. This is Heartberries. It's by Therese Marie Milhaud. There, right there. Look at that name. It's a good dang book. It's a Diddy one, and it only took me 3 months to read. I have markers in this one because I had to write about it for like a mini dissertation. It was really interesting. So interesting. It's so intimate and thought-provoking, and I was just obsessed. I am obsessed. I'm well within my right to reread this because it's good. It's good stuff. And it's a memoir, but it reads like poetry in parts, and it's just so interesting. It's so interesting. It literally feels like someone has taken their heart out of their chest and is feeding it to you. There are parts where it's hard hitting. Like, I understand if you are unable to read it because of certain sections. But hot damn, please read it. Oh my gosh. It's so good. Ideas of like place and mental health and spirituality and belonging. It's just such an interesting book. Would recommend. Give it a read. Right, next one. The next one is my other 5-star read. It's Hitchhikers. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This isn't actually it. The book's on loan. This is the second one that I'm gonna read in 2024. There's a second one. That's the book. That's the book. It's not this one, because I've lent it to a friend. Obsessed. Douglas Adams. What a brain. His writing style is just so refreshing. The plot goes in places you don't expect it to, which is it just engages my brain on a level that nothing else ever does, and you can tell that I like it so much because I can't speak. It's really good. I love Marvin, and it's hilarious because he's a depressed robot and he makes it everyone else's problem. I really enjoyed it. It was a really fun read, despite like the death of the earth and everything. It was really fun. Definitely reading the second one next year. I did watch the film like ages ago. So Arthur is forever just Martin Freeman in a red shirt and a green like dressing gown. That's just the image in my head now. Other than that, I don't remember the film at all. So it was really nice to read the book and see what happens. I want to say it's 2 simultaneous stories. It's actually like 7, but it's just woven together so well. It's like I'm covering myself in the blanket of the story, and it's really great and I love it, and please read it, for the love of God. Please read it. Another book that I read this year that is also on Lend, because I have too many books. I have to lend them. They don't all fit on my shelf. It's a whole thing. War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. Oh my god. I've been wanting to read this book for a while. And I was going to read it for my dissertation because it was kind of like space and aliens and shit. But I only finished the book in October. Because I take ages to read stuff, even if I really want to. It is such an impressive book in the sense that it leaves you with like images and scenes for days on end after you've read it. The notion of human beings as animals and humanity being as insignificant as ants. Oh my gosh, the whole existentialism of that. I am here for it. I am here for it. It's written in a journalistic style. You just saw like an entire town get eviscerated and a river boiling steam just kill everyone. Like, sure, sounds pretty bad. And it is. It's because it is. That's why it sounds it, because it is. But the whole factual recount, like, I'm telling you, this is what happens, and it did this, and it did this, and I did this, and oh my god. The curate. Satisfying end for the curate. Satisfying. I was satisfied. Journalistic style. It adds a credibility. Like, I know it's fiction. Like, this didn't happen. But it makes it all feel that much more real. And, in turn, that much more terrifying. I would go to sleep and I would just, like, replay the thing I'd last read. Oh my god. The horse carts and the people and the mud and oh my god, and the burning everything, and the battleship. Oh my god, the battleships. Just a whole, oh my gosh, everything. Near the end, started to look like it was taking a turn I did not want to engage with at all. If you read it, you'll know. And if you have read it and you don't know, maybe reread it, because there's a moment. There's a moment where the narrator is like, this could be a solution. And deep in my heart, I'm like, please God, don't let this be the solution. It's a bit eugenicsy, okay? That's all I'm gonna say on it. It didn't do that at the end. It pulled through. I can let that be. That's fine. That's fine. I was really scared that it was gonna do a whole, like, mole people eugenics thing, but it didn't. It didn't, and that's okay. If you're annoyed about spoilers, go read it, like, right now. Read it right now. How many pages were the world? 192. Read it right now. Go read it. If it takes you a year, like it did for me, watch this video in a year. But please go read it. It's good. It's genuinely good. I wanted to end this video on a high note, but the last book I read, I have a lot of thoughts on it. It's The Wasp Factory by Ian Banks. It's a book. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. It wasn't the ending that I disliked. The very last chapter infuriates me just a little bit, to the point where it overshadows the enjoyment I had with the rest of the book. The story is very interesting. It's very violent and like a bit gross, but it just really immerses you in this. Oh, this is someone's life, like this is happening, hot damn. And they're choosing to do it, hot damn. Interesting in that regard. There's a reveal near the end There's a reveal near the end, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna try not to spoiler it. There is a reveal at the end, and it kind of recontextualizes the entire book prior to it. Everything that's happened, you're like, oh, because of this information, all of this needs to be like refiled in my mental filing cabinet for this book. That happened. I was like, okay. And I got everything in the neat little drawers and I put stickers on them. I was like, okay, that's the book. And then the last chapter had to turn up. The narrator basically prescribes all of the things that happened to a single idea that doesn't even really make sense because it's about the unconscious mind and like, well, you couldn't have known it was this. And the narrator themselves is like, it's a possibility. I don't know if it's for sure. And I'm like, exactly, this last chapter didn't need to be there. It didn't need to be there. If you read The Wasp Factory, just leave the last chapter. Once you get to the reveal, that's all you need. You don't need anything else. You just don't. I didn't like the last chapter very much at all. And it's annoying because my anger at it and how much it irritates me, it made me forget the rest of the book. Which sucks because I read it for a reason, you know? I read it because the protagonist is like a murderous asshole. The blurb. 2 years after I killed Blythe, I murdered my young brother Paul, for quite different reasons than I'd disposed of Blythe, and then a year after that I did for my young cousin Esmeralda, more or less on a whim. That's my score to date. 3. I haven't killed anybody for years, and don't intend to ever again. It was just a stage I was going through. That is intriguing. That is interesting. And you learn about that and it's like, whoa. You learn about the person's family. You're like, okay. And then you get to the end of the book and you're like, oh, reveal, interesting. And then you get to that last chapter. It's almost insulting. Like, the reader can put all of it together. Once you get to the end, you're like, okay, well, this could reflect on all of this because the narrator's like pretty open with how they feel and kind of why they do things. You're like, oh, okay, so because of this, all of this now makes sense. The very last chapter just refuses you that. You don't get to do that because this is how it is. This is how it is. You can't do anything about it. No, just leave the reader to do it. Oh my god, Ian, please, just let the reader do the work themselves. That's like half the point of books. So I enjoyed it, I think I enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm too frustrated at that final chapter to say much else nice about it. That's that, I guess. Those are the books I read in 2023. I want to read in 2024. I have at least 4 that I've started and not finished. One of them is Horns by Joe Hill. Hot damn. I am not far into this book. I'm like 30 pages into this book. 6 chapters, nice short chapters, make you feel like you're making progress. I want to know what happens. I want to know what has happened in the past and what will happen in the future. I want to know why people do all of this. I want to know if there are consequences for what is happening and what is being made to happen. I want to know so many things and I just don't have the capacity to be asked to read, which is why I'm kind of making this. If you don't see this in a year's time, 400 pages of it, then berate me in the comments. But otherwise, it should be there. And then I've started reading Hunger Games. I'm planning to read literally all of them next year. One of my favourite bookstagrammers has a lot of thoughts about the Hunger Games, and they have sold it to me. Ideas of government and rebellion and the utter bafflement of having children fight to the death and like the government control that insinuates. There's just so much. I'm gonna read all of them. Bro, I need to finish The Martian. Dude, I've been listening to The Martian audiobook for 3 years and I've not finished it. The Colour of Magic. Terry Pratchett. Oh my god. I've started Small God. I'll probably do a bookshelf tour in a couple weeks. I can lay down my plans for what I'm reading next year. Those are the books I've read. That's it. That's the video. You can leave now. Goodbye. You can watch my incredibly outdated video where I study for my dissertation that burned me out for 4 months and I literally couldn't do anything. Go watch that if you want. By the way, do you like my cardigan? Do you like it? I made it myself. Look, you can do the buttons up. I got a very top one as well for when I'm feeling prudish and I don't want anyone to look at my neck. This good? I should end this video now, so thanks for watching. There might be another one soon. See ya!